Hi, welcome back to Look Fantastic's YouTube channel. My name is Uche Natori and today I'm going to be showing you how I got this soft glam makeup and also walking you guys through my morning skincare routine. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Let's begin today's video by walking you guys through what I have on my face skincare wise. I like to keep my skincare very simple but catered to my skin concerns. Number one skin concern for me is scarring, acne prone and scarring. It's like a double whammy. So I start with a cleanser. This is the Dermalogica Ultra Calming Cleanser. I love this, nice consistency, just something really simple, not too many bells and whistles, just does exactly what it says on the tin, calms the skin down and cleans the skin. That is it. Toner wise, I will follow with the Serozinc from Roche-Posay. This is great because it has zinc. Zinc is very good for breakouts and also for scarring. If you have any burns as well, it works really well for that. So it's like a multi-product. Really helps the healing process of my skin. So I love this. This has been in my routine for some time now. Absolutely love it. Back to Dermalogica. As I mentioned, dark spots are one of the issues that I have. The active clearing range from Dermalogica is so good. It's targeted towards acne and acne prone skin. So my acne is mainly hormonal and actually it's formulated for hormonal acne skin, which I love. I love this and I also love the age spot fader, which I'll talk about a little bit towards the end, but next step would be to follow with this serum. This is a two-stepper, so it helps with active breakouts and also helps with any scarring and dark spots, which is why I love using it. Follow with moisturizer. This is the Ultra Repair from First Aid Beauty. Very hydrating. I tend to use a lot of active, quite abrasive ingredients in the evening times, so in the daytime I just like to focus on hydration and just making sure my skin is nice and hydrated and is getting everything it needs to balance out all of the actives that I use in the evening. Lovely consistency, especially in the summer, not too thick but also very hydrating, so love this. No skincare routine is complete without an SPF. This has been my favorite SPF. I love this. This is the Athelios SPF 50 from Roche-Posay. Big fan of this. Because of the amount of SPF you need to use to get your effective coverage, I absolutely blow through these, but I love. And then as you can see, I have a breakout up the top there, so I will then go in with my age spot fader. This has niacinamide in it, which works really well for fade and dark marks, post breakout dark spots, and it's great because it's a very precise application. So I've got it on that one at the moment. It's been sitting there for about an hour, so it should be nice and settled into the skin. Skincare doesn't just stop on your face. Also, we've got some hand care. I love using this hand relief from Aveda. This is so good. I was obsessed with the coconut hand cream from Lanolips. Lanolips I love, but this has actually taken the place of that, which is, if you know me, that's shocking because I love my coconut, but this is so good. I love the Lanolips 101 ointment. This is my favorite flavor. Can you say flavor? They have different types. So they have a coconut one, just like a universal one, but the peach is my absolute go-to. Okay, so that is the skincare portion of today's video completed. I just thought I would talk you through it because of course I already applied it, so my skin is nice and prepped and ready for today's makeup. Soft glam is my personal favorite type of makeup. It's just so complimentary for pretty much everyone, I think. So I'm going to talk you through how I achieve a soft glam base. Brows I'm just going to really quickly do off camera. I might keep the clip in so you can see the process. I like to do that over on my channel just so you can see the process. I actually love the way my brows turned out today. I will say brows are definitely an acquired taste, and everyone obviously has their way of doing brows and their kind of vibe, so don't feel like you have to make your brows this dramatic. I'm just very like extra with it. One thing about me, I love to mix and match products to get my perfect finish. So today we're mixing the Insta Bake from Bakerie with the Nars Sheer Glow. Both lovely foundations separately, but also really nice together. Work that in with a brush. My ideal finish for foundations is full coverage and generally matte, demi matte, that kind of vibe. Anything that's going to make my skin look insane basically. And I'm keeping my headscarf on for the minute because I don't want to interrupt my hairline, my edges. So I put gel down to style my edges of my hair, and then I take the headscarf just as I'm about to finish, just so none of the product gets in and interrupts that. So I have a bit of a funny skin tone in the sense that I never find a foundation that matches me exactly. So sometimes it might turn out a little bit darker than my natural skin, and that's totally fine with me. I usually just balance it out after I've highlighted and contoured, so you can't even really tell. For concealers today, I'm using the Fusion Longwear Ultra from Laura Mercier. I'm mixing 4W and 4N. The letters stand for undertone. I have more of a golden undertone, hence why I'm using the W. But I actually feel like part of my face is neutral. So that is why I'm also using the neutral, just to balance it out a little bit. And actually I love a very, very bright under eye, so I might have to follow on top of this with something a little bit lighter, just to add a bit more light under my eyes. Again, personal preference, completely up to you. I like letting under eye concealers just dry down, because if you let them dry down, they dry in a way that, number one, it's easier to work with because it doesn't move around as much because the formula is dried down, and number two, once it's dried down, sometimes it gives you a little bit extra coverage. Not that I need it, but you can never go wrong with a little bit of extra coverage. Now I'm taking this foundation stick, pigment stick actually, from Iconic London in 5.1, and I'm going to use this to add some shadows to my face, also known as contouring. And again, just put it where you essentially want to chisel out your facial structures. The usual areas people like to chisel out are cheekbone, forehead, and then jaw, and I'm going to put a tiny bit along my chin. So those are the general areas. One thing about me, guys, I'm always going to go super extra with the contour. I just love a nice chiseled base. But again, I feel like this is something that's definitely personal preference. Not everyone wants their base to be super chiseled. I, on the other hand, do. I either do dabbing motions or I'll do small side to side. But mostly dabbing, because I want the product to stay exactly where I've put it. I don't want it to travel around or bleed into other areas. Particularly because I like my contour and I like my contour to be very exact. So I put it on my cheekbone, so by the time I blend it out, I allow for a little bit of movement, so then it falls very nicely into the hollows of my cheek. It's okay if you're a little messy with this phase, because you can always go back and do a clean up after. It just snatches you like in a crazy way. We'll blend out that under eye. Excuse me, this is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer in 301 Medium. Because as you can see, this is very bright and this is very dark. I will then take my contour brush, using dabbing motions, just make sure they are as blended into each other as possible. If you find you're really struggling with this step, you can take your brush that you use for foundation to really help you blend between those, and then with whatever's left over on your sponge, you can then do a little sharpen or a clean up under here. Okay, coming close for you guys, there we have the most delicious base. The next step is to add the powders. Okay, I think I'm going to use this loose setting powder today from Anastasia, and just pressing this into the skin. Also on the chin. The reason I applied with a damp sponge is because the powder just sinks into the skin so beautifully. And then a little along here as well. We're just going to take a tiny bit of our Laura Mercier translucent powder, lightly set the face, the rest of the face, just because we don't want any friction between textures when we go to add our bronzer. Bronzer today, I'm using the Hoola Toasted from Benefit. Lovely, lovely. Going to sweep this across all the areas that we contoured, just to bring that definition back into the face. I like this as well because it's quite buildable. So if you want to add more definition, you can. I like to go in light-handed and build it up, just because it's easier to add than it is to take away. So if I don't add enough, then it's just so easy to just build that colour up. Whereas if I add too much, then we've got a situation. Then we have a problem. And as I mentioned, I like to go quite intense with definition, but you can stop when you feel like, yep, that's enough for me. And I'm also going to take that product onto the nose. I love having a nice defined bridge on my nose, almost feline like. Again, this is another one that's personal preference. You can totally skip this step if that part of your face is already nicely defined. As this is soft glam, I'm just going to go ahead and put one colour all over the lid just to give my eyes a little bit of definition. Caviar eye stick from Mercier in Coco. I'm going to put a tiny bit on the eyes. And taking the same brush we used for nose contour, just blend that out slightly. Just so there's something on the eyelid. Just a little bit of definition. At this point, we'll just set all the powders down. Oh, let's do blush first. And we'll do blush at the end. I like to do blush last. Set all the powders down with De-Slick from Urban Decay. Just gonna pop some lashes on and then we'll come back and do the lips and add some blush, and that's pretty much the look done. My favourite base for every lip combination is Cork from MAC. And then I just like to accentuate my Cupid's bow. And the bottom of my lip. I feel like doing a glossy pink lip today, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Starting with this pink lipstick called New... I'm going to leave it on this... I'll leave it in the description because I can't really pronounce it. It's called New Prefere from Mercier. And then I'm going to use... Oh, which gloss am I going to use? I think I'll use this one. This is Orange Blossom, also from Mercier. So I mixed two glosses from Mercier, Baby Pink and Orange Blossom. This one's Orange Blossom, this was the first one I used, and then the second one, which is Baby Pink. Orange Blossom, Bare Baby. Okay, this is the finished look for you guys. This is my take on soft glam. Soft glam is my absolute favourite base, favourite type of makeup. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check me out at Uche Natori on YouTube and Instagram. Bye!